Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I wanted to take a few minutes to share my story and talk about how it led me to where I am today in real estate. Most of you know my real estate journey started when I bought my first house at just 20 years old, but not a lot of you know what led up to that moment. I started working at just 14 years old, and I started with babysitting and then moved to the restaurant industry as soon as I was old enough. By the time I was 16, I was pretty much working full-time and going to school full-time. Here's something not a lot of people know about me is I actually did online school my second semester of my junior year, and this was pre-COVID. During that time, I worked 2 jobs while going to school, working at the same restaurant job, and I took a job as a receptionist at a nail salon. I even took extra courses over the summer so that I could finish my senior year early. While I still walked and graduated with my class in June of 2020, I actually was completely done with my classes in January, giving me a full 6 months to work and save. After graduation, I worked nonstop. While everybody was taking vacations and celebrating, I was working 6 days a week, hitting overtime as a waitress, and saving every dollar I could. When I started college that fall, I scheduled my classes around my work schedule and continued working full-time and kept that up for 2 years. At 19, I moved into a rental house, but that didn't last very long. The owner decided he was ready to sell the house, and then I was denied for 2 other rental houses, and I was forced to move back home. That's when I started to seriously consider buying a house. I had money saved, but I had no idea what to do. Eventually, I connected with a lender and then a realtor, and when I say I knew nothing about buying a home, I mean I knew nothing. Everything was done over the phone. I signed documents without even asking questions because I didn't even know what questions to ask. My home search was long and emotional. This was beginning of 2023, the market was competitive, and I lost out on 4 homes before finally getting an offer accepted. I remember showing up to work crying because my offers had been rejected. When I finally went under contract, I didn't understand earnest money, the importance of inspections, or just how big of a commitment buying a house really was. I bought a fixer-upper and quickly realized it needed way more work than what I expected. I spent my days renovating, my nights working, and I still kept up with college. Somewhere in that process, I became fascinated with homes, how they work, how they're built, and how buying and selling really happens. At the same time, I felt burnout. Burnout with school, burnout with restaurants, and unsure what I wanted to do with my future. I stepped away from the restaurant industry and took a healthcare job, but it still didn't feel right. After a lot of prayer, I took the biggest risk of my life. January of 2024, I left my job. By February, I was in real estate school, and by March, I had passed my exam on the first try, and I was a licensed real estate agent. It was terrifying. I had no income, strictly living off of savings, but I worked harder than I ever have before. And in real estate school, I learned just how different my own home buying experience should have gone. I became the realtor that I needed at 20 years old. Years ago, at 16, I remember sitting at the kitchen table with my mom, asking her what she would do if she could start all over. That's where I got the idea of pursuing a career in healthcare. But even then, I remember telling my mom that if it didn't work out, my backup plan would be real estate. It's crazy to think back now and realize how early that seed was planted. So if you're a first-time home buyer, I see you. I've been there. I know how overwhelming, emotional, and confusing buying a home can really be. Buying your first home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make, and you deserve someone who understands that. And that's why I'm here, and I'd be honored to help you do it the right way.